Hey everybody, welcome back. Movie review time, where we get geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Dr. Sleep. Yeah. I know I was going to make that joke, but I forgot. We also went to Waffle House after because it was an early screening and we had to eat popcorn and didn't get dinner. But that being said, this is going to be our no spoiler review. We're not going to give away any spoilers for this movie. So we will have a spoiler review out tomorrow or later today, depending on how my internet is tonight. And but in this, if we accidentally spoil something, we'll cut it out, so you're totally safe. We're just going to give you a few minutes of our general overall opinions on this thing. And yeah. And of course, if you want more movie reviews and stuff like that, you should be checking out my Patreon. Or if you want our review for this, like faster than this comes out, you can get a 30-second review over on Stardust by looking up TheEricButts using a link in the description below. And on Patreon today, this segues in nicely to what I like to start with. We like to start with where we're coming from and our knowledge on this. Neither of us have actually read the book.
Nope.
But I did this week. We did go back and rewatch the original Kubrick's The Shining from 1980. So we're real fresh on that. And then I actually went ahead and watched the 4.5-hour made-for-TV McGregor's The Shining from 1997, which is supposed to be very faithful to the book. I don't know if it's 100% faithful, but it's like way more faithful than Kubrick's. So that's where I'm coming from. And you can get my reviews for all those movies on my Patreon. And some of those are free. So look up TheEricButts, use the link in the description below. See how I did that? All right, so overall, my thoughts on this movie were, it was awesome. It was awesome. I'm so glad I watched the original Kubrick version. I'm so glad I watched the miniseries. I wanted to read the book. I just, by the time I thought about it, didn't have the time. And I think those things really made me enjoy this even more. Especially getting some of the more original, I can't even think of the word now. The book stuff. What's the word? I think I just used it a minute ago.
The
accuracy,
original material.
Faithful. Faithful is, I think, the word I'm looking for. Faithful to the material.
Sure what we were going for.
Yeah. So that helped a lot with some certain moments. And I will say this, and then I'll turn it over to her. But I think it really helps if you rewatch The Shining. But I do recommend don't go in expecting The Shining, because even though this totally works as a sequel, it's very much its own movie, its own kind of movie, and it does play on more of the supernatural elements and stuff. So I mean, if you're looking for like, you know, man goes crazy, family tries to not get killed kind of thing, that's not what this is. So it's a very different type of horror, very different type of tension, and I very, very much enjoyed it. Yeah,
in all honesty, the middle section of the movie, I don't think you need to have seen The Shining to actually watch and appreciate. It's just like the very beginning and end.
Well, even that, I honestly think you could watch this and not really know anything about The Shining. And I think you would still enjoy it. I don't know if you'll enjoy it as much.
I think thered be a lot of... I'm sure this is a thing, I just don't know why.
Yeah, but the way they did that, I think you could totally follow some stuff. So yeah, but I do think it's recommended that you go back and watch it, because I think it'll strengthen your enjoyment of certain elements for sure. And if you do know the original material too, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out and how they kind of weaved some older elements in, some newer elements in, and then did their own thing. Yeah. And Ewan McGregor was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The young girl Abra is awesome in this. She's really great in this. Cliff Curtis, of course, you know, from Fear the Walking Dead and a bunch of other things. That's just what I most recently know him from. That's the buddy.
Oh, okay.
So he was excellent. The villains are excellent in that sense that they get under your skin and you hate them and you want them to die. Especially some of the stuff near the end.
At the same time, the main villain is actually charismatic enough that
I agree, but I still want
I'm willing to go along with this ride.
Yeah, but I want her to die. She was a very good villain in that respect. If you're going for Jacob Tremblay,
okay, that was actually him.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Okay. Not in the movie a lot. Major plot point, but not in it a lot. I don't know that anybody's actually going for him.
He's starting to change a little bit.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. And also, you might not be thinking of him as who I think he is. We'll have to talk about this more in spoilers because I don't want to give it away.
Oh no, I know exactly who you're talking about.
But I understand why they needed an actor with his ability in a young child to do what he does in this movie. But yeah, so I don't know that anybody would be going specifically just for him, but if you are, be prepared for disappointment. I mean, he's great when he's there. I'm just saying he's not in a lot of it. But yeah, no, I think they did a real good job kind of picking up from the threads of The Shining and working with the actual Shining element of it. And
adding to it,
yeah, and very much adding to it. But again, even there, I think we're, again, kind of having a better understanding of some of the original source material. that made certain elements more followable for me. So I do wonder if people have only seen the Kubrick Shining, if they're going to feel like they got a revelation in some things, or, you know, if there's something that doesn't quite float with them as easy as it floated with me, because that was one of the things, if you watch my Patreon reviews, I talk about how, I'm not going to say it here because it's too much of a spoiler, but I kind of talk about how, that element makes Kubrick's The Shining make a lot more sense in certain ways too, because it wasn't really played up that it was like just very lightly skimmed upon. So there is that, and again, I think the music is done very well. When they do recreate some things, they do a really good job, although maybe they should have invested in some no,
I think when you're trying to figure out if something's a spoiler.
Yeah, I think that might be borderline spoiler, especially because somebody did post somebody took a picture in the theater from one of the fan events and posted it on some page I'm in, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's not even in wide release yet. What the hell are you doing? So that was a little bit disappointing, or else that moment would have blown me away a bit more, but it was still pretty impactful and pretty exciting. And there were definitely some moments when I was like, oh, because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do this thing, and things like that. I actually had legit tears of joy a few times, because I was just like, I can't believe they're doing this, and they're doing this so well that I just was totally geeking out. And then even at the end, there were some emotional tears, because I was there was a couple of moments that I was like,
let me put it this way. I read an article where the writer director, I think,
Mike Flanagan, I believe,
screened this with King alone in a theater, and the thing that probably blew him out of the director out of the water most is when King said to me, it's actually making me reconsider Kubrick's movie.
I could totally understand that, and that's actually really cool.
And if you know anything,
to hear,
King hated the Kubrick movie.
Right, yeah, and understandable, because again, seeing what King was doing with his version, and then seeing what Kubrick did, I can actually understand that. And honestly, people may crap on the TV version, but I actually quite liked it, at least the back two parts. And I could see that, because I still really like Kubrick's. Kubrick's just works on a completely different level than what King was trying to achieve with his original story. So whereas King's is a little bit, it does dabble more in this, in the spiritual and the supernatural elements, whereas Kubrick really kept that a little bit more restrained and up to your interpretation, and really played more with the horror of abuse and family kind of thing. But I think they did a really good job here, and I like grown-up Danny Torrance and kind of how his life was shaped by those events, and how you see his life continued to be shaped in the older days of his life. So thought all that was really good. There are a couple moments that are pretty gruesome. They're not super over the top kind of gruesome, but I mean,
I had no problems.
You were kind of bunching up on me for a moment or two.
Okay, yeah, okay. But again.
But overall, it wasn't so much that you. Yeah. She could handle it at the end of the day.
It's not like I'm going to be having nightmares tonight.
Right. Yeah. It's not that. It's not that kind of gruesome. But there are a couple of moments. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, because again, there's so much I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil things. Pacing, I thought, was really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
for as long as the movie is, I didn't feel the need to check my watch.
Right. Yeah. There wasn't anywhere I checked out. I was really interested. And now, in terms of people dissecting Kubrick's The Shining, there's not going to be nearly that much in this movie. However, there are a couple of points of wonder what he was why he would make that choice and why he's going for that, to the point of making me question some things that now I want to just discuss, which we'll talk about in spoilers.
Yeah.
Particularly a particular set early on, the one that I leaned over and whispered, did you recognize this? Because that opens up some theories and possibilities, because I'm I'm not sure what the reason for that there is, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I like the new characters, and they did a really good job with everything, and whatever they did or did not recreate, they did a very good job recreating or not recreating it. Just trying to keep things on the down low for the spoiler side.
Okay.
But yeah, music's good. Obviously, no post credits or anything like that.
Nope.
But I did enjoy sitting there listening to the credits. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Spoilers.
Okay, fine. We'll go do spoilers. All right. Well, anyways, now's the time on Sprockets when you click the thumbs up button and give us the good old thumb of encouragement, as we do love to be encouraged. Check out the Stardust app or my Patreon. Look up the Eric Butts or use the links in the description below. And if you are going to comment, please don't comment spoilers, but also stay out of the comments if you don't want spoilers, because sometimes people just get overzealous or excited, accidentally go on spoiling without understanding what they're doing. So just be careful. But other than that, you can tell us if you're going or whatnot. We love to hear what you have to say. Now we're going to get out of here, though, so we can go talk some spoilers and watch some more stuff, and we'll see you all later.